Call the meeting to order.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Here.
Mrs. Mock,
Here.
Mr. Porter,
Here.
Mr. Sherwood,
Here.
Mrs. Smrek.
Here.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The vision and mission statement of the Austintown Schools. The Austintown Local School District is a united community with a proud legacy and a progressive approach to education. We provide an inspiring education that strengthens and prepares our students for unlimited future opportunities.
Thank you. For item number 4, nobody signed up for public comment. 4B, upon the recommendation of the treasurer, approve the addendum, item 19B, be added to the May 21st, 2020 Board of Education regular May session.
So moved.
Second?
Take the vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek.
Yes. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to table item number 13.
So moved.
Second.
Take the vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek,
Yes.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. Item 5, upon the recommendation of the treasurer, approve the agenda for the May 21st, 2020 Board of Education regular May session.
So move.
Second.
Take the vote.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek.
Yes.
Item 6, upon the recommendation of the treasurer, approve the following items A through G by consent action.
So moved. Second.
Take the vote.
Mrs. Smrek,
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the following item A, personnel, by consent action. So moved.
Second.
Take the vote.
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek,
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Yes.
Item 8, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, award continuing contracts to the following OPSI personnel effective July 1st, 2020.
So move.
Second.
The vote.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek,
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. Item 9, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, award the following OPSI personnel their first 2-year limited contract effective July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Take the vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek,
Yes.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. Item 10, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, award the following AEA personnel 1-year limited contracts effective July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021.
So move.
Second.
Take the vote.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek.
Yes.
Item 11, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, award the following AEA personnel continuing contracts effective July 1st, 2020.
So moved.
Second?
Take the vote.
Mrs. Smrek,
Yes.
Mrs. Mock,
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski,
Yes.
Mr. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. Item 12, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the resolution for the operation of schools during the period of emergency declared by Executive Order 2020-01D, whereas the board confirms the authority of the superintendent to determine which board employees are essential to the function of the district during school closure, and to further determine employee assignments and work schedules, abbreviated if necessary, to continue operations while maintaining social distancing and health and safety guidelines issued by the Ohio Department of Health. Be it further resolved, the board hereby determines that this resolution is consistent with the CARES Act.
So moved.
Second.
Vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Okay, we table item 13. Item 14, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the renewal agreement with K&K Insurance Group for blanket student accident insurance coverage with rates and benefits to remain the same with no increase. So moved.
second,
Take the vote.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Item 15, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve authorization for the Austintown local schools to participate in the voluntary program with My College Options, designed to help students in grades 8 through 11 to plan for their post-secondary education.
So moved.
second,
Take the vote.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. 16, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the reading improvement plan submitted by Dr. William Young, Director of Curriculum. This is a requirement for all Ohio school districts with fewer than 80% of students scoring proficient or higher on the Grade 3 Ohio State Test in English Language Arts.
So moved.
Second.
Take the vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
17, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the memorandum of understanding by and between the Austintown Local School District Board and the Austintown Education Association, whereas the board and the association believe it to be mutually advantageous to modify the agreement as follows. Whereas the parties desire to allow AEA licensed staff to participate in extended school year services, ESY, throughout the summer at a rate different than the one set forth in the party CBA 9.07 for summer school programs. And whereas the parties believe it is in their best interest to memorialize their understanding of the terms and conditions under which the board may utilize staff as set forth above. This MOU will be in effect for the duration of the current collective bargaining agreement, which is August 29, 2019 through August 28, 2021.
So moved.
second,
Take the vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. 18, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the MOU by and between the Austintown Local School District Board and the Austintown Education Association, whereas the board and the association believe it to be mutually advantageous to modify the agreement as follows. Whereas the superintendent is hereby directed to take any and all necessary actions to enforce the orders of the governor of the state of Ohio, Ohio Department of Health, and the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and any other orders or directives of duly authorized Ohio state officials in relation to COVID-19, to continue district operations and facilitate distance learning to keep students engaged in instruction and enrich through school curriculum, including co-curricular and extracurricular activities and contracted services. And whereas the board and AEA agree to compensate the 2020 spring athletic coaches at a rate of 75% of their contracted supplemental rate.
So moved.
Second. Take a vote.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
19, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the MOU by and between the Austintown Local School District and the Austintown Education Association, whereas the board and the association believe it to be mutually advantageous to modify the agreement as follows. This MOU will remain in effect for the 2020-2021 school year, and the necessity for the split shall be revisited for need prior to the start of the 21-22 school year. So moved.
second,
Take the vote.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
The addendum 19B, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve an extension to the open enrollment application deadline to 3 p.m. June 1st, 2020.
So moved.
second,
Take the vote.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Motion for the next board meeting to be Thursday, June the 18th
Correct.
at 5 p.m.
So moved.
second,
Take the vote.
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes,
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
No comments.
I'd just like to fill in a little bit here with the governor, lieutenant governor, and the CDC, and things getting a little bit more laxed as we move forward into summer. There's many, many beliefs out there with it's going to get a little bit more laxed. What's school going to look like in the fall? A lot of questions with very few answers right now. So what we do is we just pay attention to the governor. We also listen to the CDC, which has a lot of strict guidelines right now. So it looks like some things are being lifted, but there's also guidelines that go along with these things. So make sure when you start getting into your groups and we start opening things up here, listen to the athletic director, listen to your coaches, because we're going to have certain guidelines you need to follow. So make sure we're doing that. But as time goes on, we're going to know as much as you know as far as school opening up in the fall. Right now, it's way too early to discuss that. Is it going to be face-to-face? Is it going to be online, a hybrid method? We surely don't know right now, but we're hoping it's face-to-face. We're hoping we're going to see you back in the fall face-to-face and move forward with education as we all know it. So hang in there, and as we get information, we'll pass it along to you.
Any comments? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second,
Vote.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
yes.
Mrs. Krimpaski?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
in association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.